I am not believing no Tank Davis news, fights, or opponents unless it comes from him or that side. Some of y'all act like idiots, believe anything you read or see on YouTube, then act like Tank tricked you. You tricked you, dummy. LOL, hashtag ego. Now, I put this a couple of days ago. Same different toilet. Same ish, different day. I don't know what the fascination is with boxing and boxing's fans that has you doing the same thing over and over. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting it to yield new results. And it's the same old when it comes to Gervonta Tank Davis. There's a lot of hoopla and a lot of speculation about what is going to be next for Tank Davis. Who will he fight? You know, there's certain dates that are earmarked. There's different rumors. People are taking a stab at it. And to me, it's corny. For one, I'm a grown man. That's for starters. I love Gervonta Davis and what he's bringing to the game. But before boxing, there was still ego. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a man before boxing. So it's not that imperative as a grown-ass man for me to be worried about who somebody's fighting to the point where I'm going to make senseless like content guessing and poking and picking around. This is not like, you know, the US election or something where you got people who are making predictions and looking at polls and stuff. We're talking about boxing. With the election, it's the commander in chief. So this actually affects your life, so to speak, decisions being made, etc. So I can even understand the importance of something like that. We're talking about boxing. Tank will announce his next fight as soon as he's ready and prepared to announce his next fight. So like I said at the beginning, I'm not believing anything unless I hear from Tank or Tank's team. There's a lot of other people who are doing interviews. There's a lot of content creators who incessantly talk about Tank. And I notice it. Notice patterns in boxing. You see a lot of the Haniacs and a lot of the Inshakur fans who are diehard Inshakur Stevenson fans, diehard Devin Haney, Haniacs. And primarily, a lot of these people are the ones that are spreading the rumors and speculation as to what's next for Tank Davis. But ironically, when it comes to Tank Davis, they don't really seem to even like and appreciate Tank Davis. Like, for example, you'll see content creators and they say stuff like, oh, in the past, at least, I would say before the Ryan Garcia fight, you'll see conversations being had like, oh, Gervonta Davis, he needs to fight Tank, or Gervonta, he needs to fight Devin, things like that. And making it like Tank is scared and these types of conversations. And then when Devin gets slaughtered by Ryan Garcia, a lot of those conversations and talking points have faded. Then I guess Shakur is up for the task, and then they'll start promoting Shakur fight against Gervonta Davis, right? So again, I'm noticing Shakur Stevenson radicals and Devin Haney radicals who always have Tank's name on their tongue. And I find it a bit weird because how can you have so much disdain, hatred, animosity for a fighter that you don't really know? But then when it comes to any Tank news, people be all in the mix. Like the saying goes, you all in the Kool-Aid, don't even know the flavor. I just find that to be weird. And this has been going on. You've heard Tank's fighting Abner Mares. He's fighting this guy, that guy. He's fighting El Rayo. He's fighting this person, this. Why not just wait? That's what I'm trying to understand. Let me know in the comment section. Do not solicit, name drop. I don't care about no one else and what anyone else is doing. I'm just asking boxing fans, when will you start pushing out irrelevant things in boxing and getting to the bottom of it. Because like I said at the beginning in my tweet that I did the other day, there's a lot of people who, if this fight happens or if this fight doesn't happen, they'll blame Tank as if he led you astray. Tank ain't even really been on social media like that, so I know it's not him. But because you guys listen to all these rumors and speculation and conjecture about what's next for Tank Davis, you feel led astray if and when it does or doesn't happen. You know, well, namely, if it doesn't happen, people have something to say about it. But you're doing this to yourself. So I encourage you. There's a lot of ways to get information in boxing. Use trusted sources. There's a lot of sources in boxing that really have proven to not be trustworthy. There's a lot of clickbait in the game. There's a lot of like, I'm going to throw ish on a wall hoping something sticks. And that's the delivery of many people in boxing. And that's one of the things that hurts boxing, because there's no real barrier to entry. And you can't be in the NBA, even the UFC, but we'll say the NBA. NBA is very strict about who they credential. Even the UFC, if you start chatterboxing and chatty patty and making up stuff, you won't be allowed. I mean, you could cover the UFC from afar, like on YouTube or TikTok or something, but you definitely ain't getting close to no fights. But in boxing, wild, wild west. So you have people who just make up stuff. And then I blame the fans. I blame the fans. If you're being lied to and then you go back to the same individuals or entities that keep lying to you, then it's really your fault. It's no different than if you go have a bad food experience, you get food poisoning, you give them another chance 6 months later, you get food poisoning again. And if you continue to patronize that particular restaurant after they done gave you food poisoning twice, then that's on you. You must like food poisoning. Me, I'm a grown man, like I said earlier, so my time is not to be wasted. I got other things to do. There's other relevant things to talk about in boxing. So I'm going to leave it to Tank. I don't know or care who he's fighting next. He'll announce it in due course. And, you know, it's funny mainly because I see it coming from mostly the Shakur Stevenson insecures and the Haniacs, so preoccupied with what Tank's doing, but then they claim they don't like him. Funny how these things work in the sport of boxing. You don't like Tank Davis, but you're so concerned with everything he did. Oh, Tank is in Paris at the Olympics. Oh, Tank did this. Oh, Tank got to go to court. Oh, Tank's next fight, this is this. Like, who cares? We're going to find out in due time, and your boy Ego will be here to report it as soon as it's confirmed. And we got some real legs on the story. Best in the business, and it's not even close.